We spend so much time thinking about exercise for our bodies, right? For our muscles, our heart, our lungs. But what if the biggest gains from our workouts aren't happening in our biceps, but actually inside our skulls? Today, we're going to dive into the really surprising science of how physical activity is, without a doubt, our brain's best workout. I mean, think about it. We're constantly bombarded with ads for pills and supplements, all promising to boost our focus, our memory, our mental clarity. But what if the real key to unlocking a sharper, more resilient brain, well, what if it doesn't come in a bottle at all? What if it's something we all have access to right this very second?
And look, this isn't just some wellness trend we're talking about. This is a direct quote from the scientific review we're digging into today. And the stakes? Well, they could not be higher. We're talking about a powerful, evidence-backed strategy to protect our minds against cognitive decline and even dementia. So the big question is, how? How does it actually work?
All right, so here's our game plan for today. First up, we're going to meet the two main types of exercise. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of how they literally rewire our brains. After that, we'll see how they act as bodyguards against age-related decline. And finally, and this is the best part, we'll wrap it all up into an actionable brain health plan that you can start using for life. All right, first things first, let's meet the two heroes of our story, aerobic and anaerobic exercise. Now, on the surface, they might seem pretty different, but as you're about to see, they both play an absolutely crucial role in protecting and boosting our brain health. So what's the actual difference? Well, on one side, you've got aerobic exercise. This is all about endurance. Anything that gets your heart pumping and makes you breathe harder. Think a long run, a bike ride, or swimming laps. Then, on the other side, you've got anaerobic exercise. This is the complete opposite. It's all about short, intense bursts of power, like a full-out sprint or lifting heavy weights, where your muscles have to use stored energy instead of oxygen. Okay, so now that we know who our players are, let's get to the really exciting part. How in the world do they pull this off? It's time to get into the science of how moving your body physically changes and literally rewires your brain for the better. And this really gets to the heart of the whole thing. We're not just talking about that temporary mood boost you get after a workout. Nope. We're talking about real, tangible, biological changes that directly link the movement of our bodies to the actual health and function of our brains. So let's kick things off with our first hero, aerobic exercise. Its main superpower? It's all about blood flow and brain food. Think of it as a master of delivery, making sure your brain gets all the good stuff it needs to thrive. And here's how that process breaks down. As you run or swim, your heart rate climbs, right? That pumps a ton more oxygen-rich blood straight to your brain. This surge is like a trigger, releasing these powerful growth factors, which are basically fertilizer for your brain cells. They help your neurons grow stronger and build new, better connections. Now, one of the most important of these growth factors is something called BDNF, and honestly, the miracle grow for your brain analogy is perfect. This protein is the key to something called neuroplasticity, which is really just a fancy way of saying your brain's ability to change and adapt, to learn new things. So put simply, doing aerobic exercise is one of the best ways we know to flood your brain with a protein that literally helps you learn and remember things better. And the results? They are absolutely stunning. Get this. One randomized clinical trial found that regular aerobic exercise led to a 2% increase in the size of the hippocampus. Now, the hippocampus is your brain's memory center, and it typically shrinks as we get older. This study shows that exercise can actually reverse that. It can make your memory center bigger. That is truly remarkable. Okay, so that's aerobic exercise. But what about our other hero, anaerobic? Its superpower is totally different, but just as important. It's all about strengthening that super fast communication line between your muscles and your brain. See, when you lift weights or do any kind of resistance training, your muscles release these little chemical messengers called myokines. Some of them, like one called irisin, actually travel all the way up to your brain and encourage the growth of new brain cells. And the result of all this? A stronger brain-body connection, which means better reaction time, better coordination, the whole package. So these exercises aren't just about building a better brain. They're also about protecting the one you've got. You can think of them as your brain's personal bodyguards, actively defending it against the threats of aging and disease. So let's see exactly how they do that. Okay, so take a disease like Alzheimer's. The hippocampus, that memory center we were just talking about, is basically ground zero. It's one of the very first parts of the brain to get hit. And as we just saw, aerobic exercise directly targets and strengthens that exact area, making it a powerful first line of defense. And this is where the teamwork is just so cool. While aerobic exercise is busy protecting the brain's gray matter, the processing centers, resistance training steps in to protect the white matter. And you can think of the white matter as all the internet cables connecting the different parts of your brain. Keeping that network fast and efficient is absolutely vital for cognitive health. And you can really see this partnership in action with a disease like Parkinson's. On one hand, you have aerobic exercise, helping to manage symptoms by boosting dopamine levels. But at the same time, anaerobic exercise is tackling the physical challenges head-on, improving strength and balance to reduce the risk of falls. It's a perfect example of a comprehensive two-pronged defense. Okay, so the science is compelling, there's no doubt about that, but knowledge is only powerful if you actually use it, right? So let's take all of this incredible research and turn it into a practical, real-world brain health plan that you can put into action for life. All right, here it is. This is the key takeaway. For adults, the sweet spot is about 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity every week. Think brisk walking or cycling, plus 2 days of strength training. For older adults, the focus is a bit more on a mix of activities about 3 times a week to also work on balance and coordination. And for kids, it's even simpler. At least 60 minutes of getting up and moving every single day. So really, the crucial point is this. While each of our heroes is powerful on its own, they are an absolutely unbeatable team. The research is crystal clear on this. A routine that combines both aerobic and anaerobic exercise delivers the biggest, most significant benefits for your brain's long-term health. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to think about for the future. As our understanding of this gets even better, could we one day have personalized exercise prescriptions? I mean, imagine getting an exercise plan designed not just for your body, but specifically engineered to target a cognitive goal, like boosting your memory or enhancing your creativity. It's the next frontier in brain health, and it's all powered by the simple act of just moving your body.